Are you ready to get into this warrior business right now? Okay. Hit with that first one. Let me see who in the house right now. Yo, I'm an African. All Africans over here, let me hear you say that. I'm an African. All Africans over on this side, let me hear you say it.
All right, this is Race for the Times. We're here with TAHIR RBG. And first I want to talk about the history of you as an artist. Where did you start out from? How long you been in the game? And what's got coming from you?
Cool, man. As far as myself, my history, started in Tallahassee, Florida, working with a lot of the, groups right there, you know what I mean? Started out as every Florida MC and producer, wanted to be on Loot Records growing up, and all of that. Started off making bass music joints, you know what I mean? Then me and Stick, we grew up together. Stick from Dead Prayers. We met M1 when I went to college at Florida A&M, formed a group, started producing, of course, for Dead Prayers, still my brothers. And from there, man, when we moved to New York, got around, produced for The Roots, Shabam Sadiq, worked with J Electronica, quite a few folks, man, Smith & Wesson. The list is crazy, you know what I mean?
Right,
and,
right.
Yeah, and started doing my own joints in between there because I've always been an MC. And to this date, 13 albums going in,
You look around, whoever got that fist up, that's who you can count on. At least face value. But now that we done figured out who we dealing with, let's get into these traitor-ass niggas that's been banging on our communities. Are y'all ready to get with that warrior business? Yeah, but let's go. Get with it.
Let me ask you about your content. What pushes you to do the type of content you do? Most of the MCs out here right now are getting paid. They're getting pushed to do content that's not good for the African community, that may be a dangerous type of evil in the black community.
Right.
So what pushes you to do what you do, which is, not the common path?
Man, a lot of times my content, I'm pushed to do it because of the missions that I'm involved in. Especially, nowadays. Before it's just about always it's about telling my story, like the songs I write a lot of times are therapeutic for myself. But with Repat Nation, that's the collective that puts my music out that I'm a part of. As far as repatriation to Africa, so a lot of songs I do are geared towards getting my mind ready for it, and as well as a listener that says, yo, I deal with TAHIR RBG, I check him out. Well, that's what they're going to be getting from me, nation building type of songs and realignment, lining our minds and our bodies for this work, as far as African liberation. So that's what really pushes me, to do the certain songs I do.
Let me ask from a different angle. One of your recent cuts, Asian Ass Niggas, that's been blowing up the internet, folks have been playing it. Speaks directly to the movement, speaks directly to how our organizations have been collaborated, how our culture has been collaborated.
Right.
Do you think there's been a new tactic in using our culture against us, or is it the same type of thing that we're seeing, and how is it directly influencing hip-hop?
Man, I think that it is a new well, it is a new tactic, but more so than that, there's been a new energy as far as trying to be proactive in our mission. So when Nicki Minaj and them, when they put out that one record and they had Malcolm's face and they were really promoting it with that, like he's the looking ass nigga. Even shooting that video I did, it was a sister that was there that was like, well, he is a looking ass nigga. It was so funny. I was like, wow, like it worked. She was right there at that video shoot and was like, what's the problem? I see the picture. You know, didn't really know about Malcolm X, but just was like, look at him. So it was obvious that that succeeded. And I think one thing that's new as far as how we deal with it is I remember a time when we used to, anybody that was violating, we used to get at them. You know, when what's his name, the PM Dawn dudes but they had I don't even think they dissed him. They just had a little something off kilter to say about KRS. Showed up at the show, threw him off the stage.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't there, but that's what I heard. You know what I mean? I heard some things about, you know, just always little stuff. I remember when Dr. Dre and them out here in the West had beef with Luke and them, and it was a Jack the Rapper thing in Atlanta. They came out to Atlanta, you know, I love Dr. Dre and them, but man, when they came out there, Miami was ready. And they ran them out of the building. There's not enough of that, and especially with the quote-unquote conscious community, when there are direct shots fired at our community and our you know, our family structure, like looking ass nigga, that is a direct shot. It only makes sense to me to get at them like that. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's been mixed reviews. Some people be like, I'm not giving that energy, but your daughter and your son is giving it. They police all the videos and the music is an overt attack on the black fam unit. So fuck a boycott, put their names in the pot, somebody gotta do it.
Okay, let me say this. We're here in Oakland, California.
Word.
You know, Black Panther Party.
Big time.
Self-defense of the African community. Where's the self-defense of our culture? What's the proper response to, I mean, you did a proper response, but what, you know, is there a way do we sustain it? Do we directly get at these folks like the Black Panther Party did to James Brown and just pull their tail and be like, hey, look here, this is what you should be rapping about. This is what you know, our culture needs.
Yeah, I would say just, yeah, accountability. Accountability, you know, for as far as from the quote unquote conscious artists to the ones that are quote unquote not so conscious, accountability to the hoods that we're dealing with. So, you know, if I'm saying Black Power and I'm saying all these things, then I should be able to, as a listener, and I like that information, be able to get at you and say, yo, how can I get involved with something in my community? That artist should have something to direct them to if it's not something they already involved with, or something that they co-sign me like, yo, here's where you go. Those that's on some I deal crack to my whole hood, run up on them, yo, you do? Word? I need 10 G's to make this youth thing come. If it don't come, if you can't give up that money, it's gonna be problems. You know, like accountability. You know, a lot of people say, well, I'm living my own life. That I this, I that, iPad, iPhone, all of that. That shit is nuts. You know what I mean? That's what's messing us up. So individualized and not looking like, yo, we got a whole hood out here. And for those that know better, we got missions involved, you know. So it's enough of that, you know, I'm living my own life type shit. Like, cause you know, while you living your own life, we all dying at the same time. So, you know what I mean?
Right on. Let me ask you a twofold question. You know, you did a most recent cut, and you kind of dedicated it to Eric Garner. So I want to speak about that. But there's a part in the song I listened to earlier that you were talking about ancestors' blood is in my veins. So, in looking at what that's transpired the past maybe about a year, or maybe more than that, you know, people have like Gil Scott, Baba Amiri Baraka, even Maya Angelou. We have a lot of our elders are passing who are griots and legends in the game of conscious music and conscious art.
Right.
So, how did they inspire you? How you feel about those folks, and also what inspired you to do that song?
Man, first is, as far as inspiration, all those ancestors, man, yeah, they are very inspirational. I'm a student of great writers and great artists, so yeah, all of them. I'm an avid reader, so you know, people, they show me something that I might not have seen that, I'm like, okay, look that up, read that whole shit, so I'm up on it, you know. So I definitely am very influenced by them in a lot of political activist, of course. As far, and then what was the second?
The song you did for Eric Garner.
Okay, yeah, man. Well, with Eric Garner, you know, of course, that situation's terrible. That situation is just one of the ones that got caught on camera, you know. There was a big thing with when Trayvon down in Sanford, where, you know, where I'm at in Orlando. When that happened, same thing, you know, put out songs with that. And what was so interesting is that I remember when that happened to Trayvon, and people were like, "Oh, that'll never happen in my city," and I'm like, "No, it's happening." You know, I remember a lot of New Yorkers like really acting like, "Yo, that'll never happen." And then when that happened with Eric Garner, I'm like, "Yo, it will." Like, now it's time to stop again iPhoning and compartmentalizing like that's Florida and we're up here. No, we all in the hells of North America. Everybody's on fire, not just this hood or that hood, the whole shit. So we gotta link up like that. So I dedicated it to him, but all, you know, the Oscar Grants, all those who lost their lives to police terrorism, and then just in general, on, you know, you lost your life to crack, that's police terrorism, you know, like getting it clear, you know. So I had to do it, and, you know, life's gone down low. Like, people act like, "Oh, we gonna make it." Like, man, you gotta do something to make it. It ain't just we just gonna make it. You gonna have to do something, man. Yeah, and recognize, nah, man, they not gonna let up, you know. So we gotta be strategic and make some strategic, proactive moves as far as location. You know, where is this spot working for you? You know, just all that. You know, just take it in account. You know.
Lights gone down low.
Last thing, we mentioned a little bit about the Black Panther Party. It's Black August right now.
Right.
So how have those two things inspired you, and how do you feel about both of them?
Man, immensely, man. I got hip to Black August through the Uhuru movement, which I was a part of, and Malcolm X grassroots movement organization. When I moved to New York, they really highly politicized me as far as the Panthers, Black August, you know, and ins and outs and what it means and why it's so sacred, you know what I mean? So it really influenced me. I remember at one point I was writing rhymes totally for, man, when Black August come around. You know what I'm saying? That's when I was just kind of scratching the surface, finding out about it. So yeah, of course, man, all the Panthers and their contributions, those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our people, you know. It's always on deck, on my mind, stuff that I get up in the morning thinking about, you know what I mean? So, most definitely.
What can we look forward from coming from you?
Man, Repat Nation is the situation. That's, you know, this is and I'd like to give this to you, but this is our organization, Repat Nation. We talk about African repatriation holistically, you know, mentally, spiritually, physically, the whole nine. And right now I got this new album called "Cut That Devil Head Off," yeah. And you know that's how TAHIR RBG get down. You know, it's no filter, and you know, 8-song cut. You know, and this is what I'm doing with right now. I got a new album coming, but it's in the works, called Hymns of the Whirlwind. So that's what I got going on, man.
Elevating my soul, yeah, thanks, God. Don't get it twisted, I'll cut that devil head off. Enter into it, I'll cut that devil head off. That ain't my goal. I'm all about love, elevating my soul, yeah, thanks, God. Don't get it twisted, I'll cut that devil head off.
You know, they can check me out at get on Facebook, TAHIR RBG. I'm easy to find. Holla at me, let me know what's good. Repat Nation as well. Search that on Facebook. Come check us out. and henensu.com, HENENSU.com.
Right on. It's Rage with Tahir. That's how we do it.
Head off, just like BAM! Will you cut that devil head off? Y'all sure? If Oscar Grant was your blood brother, then would you be ready to cut the devil head off? Or Trayvon was your son? What about Baba Matulu Shakur that's locked up? We don't know when he coming home. What if that was your father? Then would you be ready to go full force, cut this goddamn devil head off? Well, guess what? That is your son. That is your brother. That is your Baba. Those are your sisters and your mamas locked up fucking with this system. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, for real, soft shit is over. Time out for that soft ass shit. Get used to the blood. Get used to the blood. Don't be like, oh man, we can talk this out. Ain't no talking shit out. We ain't talk our way into this shit. You ain't gonna talk your way out of this shit. We gonna have to get busy. I'll bring that to you. You know what I'm talking about? That's how I get down. And I just wanted to say that. I know I'm going a little far. I know y'all like, goddamn. But when them tanks coming down the street, then you'll be thinking about what I was talking about. We just rapping right now.